So today we're talking about the worst places to retire. And now this is according to Bankrate. And so we're talking about, in particular, Dan, the states that according to this Bankrate article, are the worst states to retire. And I got to be honest with you, I've looked through these and I kind of agree with that. The first one is Massachusetts. So if you grew up in these states or you have family that we're just going over the, no offense or anything like that, but I got to be honest, I agree with this. So the first state is Massachusetts. Why is Massachusetts one of the worst states to retire in?
Well, based on Bankrate, it's got a very expensive cost of living. The healthcare is also very expensive, and the weather isn't the greatest either. So that makes Massachusetts the 5th worst place to retire here in the United States. And a little side note, for anybody wanting to move to Middle Tennessee or Tennessee, I would probably tell you, it's the worst place to ever retire in. So just don't retire in Tennessee. You'll hate it. There's nothing good about it. So we suffer every day to be here.
Yeah, California, Chicago people, New York, you're killing our traffic. We really don't want you here.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Kind of. All right. So number 4, Washington. So Washington had some of the most affordable health care, but the quality of life, cost of living, and crime really make it a very unattractive place for people to want to retire.
So Washington, probably not the place you want to retire. And again, you talked about the weather's not great there either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We were there a couple of times. Not great.
Yeah.
Number 3 on this list, the great state of California.
Shocker.
Shocker there. Basically, almost bankrupt state. So that's not a great option. Very, very expensive. Weather's good, but super expensive state to live in. I was looking recently. And gas prices across America, they fluctuate about $3.88 a gallon, which is high. In California, over $6 a gallon. So when you talk about expensive, just the cost of gas is almost double.
Well, and I'll say this one's kind of a shame because California is a beautiful place, right? From the south to the middle to the north. Really an attractive place to go. A lot of different areas with different climates. But unfortunately, it isn't the state and the scenery that makes it a bad place to be. It's everything else about it that really makes it undesirable. The crime, expensive, but people do report a high quality of life. But again, it's all the other things that really make it undesirable to want to be at. So I think that's a shame. But it is a fact. Number 3, people leaving California at record rates right now. Companies leaving California, and there's a reason for that. Number 2, John, New York. This one has very poor scores in weather, healthcare, and cost of living. Really nothing great that people are reporting about New York as a retirement state.
Well, I can speak to this because I actually grew up in New York. Now, not the city. Upstate New York is dairy farm. So I actually grew up on a dairy farm. It's like 2 different worlds, upstate and downstate. So when you talk about the weather, if you like snow like 6-7 months out of the year, and below 0 with wind chill temperatures, it's the place for you. Taxes, oh my gosh, through the roof. Not only they put farmers out where I'm from in terms of the taxation, businesses, factories, there's so many depressed areas of New York. And of course, if you want to live in the city when you have like about a 600 square foot apartment for like 10 grand a month or whatever it is, it's crazy. New York, horrible place.
Yep. So if you guessed the worst state to retire in, well, before the reveal, we're going to give you the number 1 here. We want to make sure you get to retire where you want to. Proper financial planning can get you there, especially if you're a few years out from retirement or knocking on the doorstep. Feel free to give us a call. We can give you a second opinion on your current financial plan. Make sure that you're on the right track to be able to retire wherever it is that you want to. 615-488-3039 or beaconcm.com. Well, the number 1 worst state to retire is, drum roll please,
Alaska.
Alaska. No shocker there either. It comes in as the absolute worst. Expensive health care, cost of living. But here's the facts about it. Mid-November, you get 2 months straight, almost 60 plus days with 0 daylight. Sounds like a zombie apocalypse kind of place to live.
Nothing says retirement like an igloo.
And then summer, 80 days of sunlight, which might sound good, but I need a little bit of darkness. And so I would say if you're into ice fishing, then that's a great place. If you want to ice fish every day of your life, let's go to Alaska. If you don't want to do that and live in ice and icebergs and have no sunlight for 2 months, then do not retire in Alaska.
Yeah. So those are the 5 worst states to retire in. Thanks for watching the show today. You can subscribe below for all kinds of information and other videos like this.